Jesus made a comment on one occasion where he said, "No one ascends into heaven except he who has descended from heaven." And so with respect to the ministry of Jesus in this world, it begins with the descension, as distinguished from the ascension. The descension has to do with his leaving his situation in glory with the Father and the Spirit and coming to this world by way of incarnation. When the Apostle Paul wrote his letter to the Romans, at the very beginning of the epistle, where he identifies himself as an apostle who's been called of God and set apart for the gospel of God, which he says was announced by the Old Testament prophets, and it regards Jesus, who is born of the seed of David. And so when Paul announces the gospel and the work of Christ throughout the book of Romans, he begins in the very first chapter with a reference to Jesus' having been born of a woman from the seed of David, according to the flesh. And when we speak of Jesus' flesh, that brings us immediately to the concept of incarnation.